Great interview. We're going into another fantastic interview as we have Mrs. Natasha Grant Regis, Executive Agent with Guardian Life of the Caribbean, the leading provider of insurance in the Caribbean. How are you going, Natasha?
I'm good this afternoon. And you?
I'm doing great. And I must tell you that it's really an exciting thing to have you here on Our Culture, Our Vibes. And let the listeners get a little understanding of how the insurance business really go.
Okay, and thanks again for the opportunity. I really appreciate this. Yeah, it's a privilege.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the area of we're talking about insurance, something that I'm very passionate about. I have been doing this for the last 13 years. I've been an insurance agent.
Yes.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a product unlike no other because it's an intangible product, something that you really cannot see.
Yes.
It is something that people pay for and sometimes forget that they have, right?
Yes.
But the question is, why insurance? Because, over the course of the years, there are many questions that people pose to you. Why insurance? There is a lot of misunderstanding regarding insurance. There is a huge lack of knowledge regarding insurance. And so many times in conversation, even with clients who have insurance, you find that they and all don't even understand what they have and why they have it, right?
Yes.
They had a conversation and they agreed. They understood at the time. But as I said, it's not like something you use on a day-to-day basis, right? And so you forget what paying this for. You understand?
Yes.
Until something significant happens, and then it hits home. And actually, that is the first call that people make. I have an experience with that, where a client was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the first person they called was me. I had to ask them, I said, did you call your mother, who I know she's very close to? No. Because that is the only time they remember when the need arises.
That's right.
I have insurance, because now we're talking huge amounts of money, right?
Yes.
That you need to find. And generally, that's what the insurance policy does, right? So the question is, why insurance? Why we need this insurance? Why,
Yes.
Sometimes, insurance is probably a waste of time because, again, it's not something in your face, right?
Until the need arrives.
And so, yes. And so, the whole question of insurance is really hinged to a fact and a thing that we live with every single day. And that is something called risk,
Yes.
right? We live with risk every day, and in every single thing that we do, there is a risk.
That's right.
And I was looking up at this, and just to explain, risk is the possibility of something bad happening. It involves uncertainty. So it is not that in every situation and everything that we do, all the activities of our day, that is going to end up in something bad happening. But in everything that we do, there is a risk of something bad happening. And it is possible. So, you hear the stat, 1 in every 100, 3 in every 1,000, 10 in every million. But the question is, who will fall into the 1? Who will fall into the 3? And
That's
that is
right.
when the possibility for, it actually falls in the minority. If you look at life insurance, then there is no 1 in every 100. All of us will die one day. Right?
That's right.
So we're not talking on the angle. But we live with this risk every single day. And so risk involves the uncertainty about effects and implications of an activity with respect to something that humans value, such as their health, their well-being, their wealth, their property, or environment, often focusing on negative, undesirable consequences. Right?
Yes.
So, you're doing whatever you're doing when the day comes. And I was thinking about and reflecting on it. And, if we only take time to reflect on how much we are surrounded by risk. And we don't even have to leave our home. We could be sleeping and there's a risk. Because there are people who went to sleep and actually something significant happened while they were sleeping. They get a stroke, they had an aneurysm, they died in the sleep, right? They could have fallen off the bed and injured themselves. When getting up, just to go to use the washroom, there are people that simple act like that. There are things that happen that alter people's lives. So sometimes when we think about something like insurance, we're thinking of, well, you have to be in a vehicle accident, we're thinking of something significant like that. But actually, the risk is here in every activity that we do. Every activity that we do. We live with it every single day.
True.
We have numerous examples, Chris, in terms of risk exposure, accidents, crime. Right now we have the pending rainy season.
Yes.
It's upon us, right? And that in itself poses a risk to many people, depending on where you live.
That's
in
right.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Right? And across the world, right?
Yes.
And then simple things like, we can extend to other natural disasters, because we have been hit by earthquakes. As a result of that, we can have land slippage. There's so many examples, right, in the environment and in our day-to-day life.
That's right.
Simple things like when we get up and get prepared to just come out of the house. And I know of an example like this, of a real story of somebody, a young woman. She was getting ready to leave the house, organizing for the children. And in the morning, you're busy, so you're rushing up and down. And she's having her breakfast, but of course not taking her time because she's packing lunch kits and organizing.
Yes. And
she ended up choking on her food.
Wow.
She collapsed and died in her kitchen. Right?
Oh, Lord. Yes.
And so a simple act of normal, everybody trying to put everybody here enough to, and most times that doesn't happen.
Yes.
But it does happen. And so to think that there is a risk, even when we are eating,
yes,
that can cost either us or our loved ones their lives.
That's right.
And what I'm trying to paint is the reality of risk that we live with, and to answer the question, why insurance? Why we need insurance? And what is insurance, by the way? Right? So, as I said, a lot of people, they don't have an appreciation, and it is mostly because of a lack of information and knowledge of what is insurance. What is the purpose of this thing called insurance, right?
Yes.
And so, I know a lot of people say, well, I don't need insurance because if something happens, I would just find the money and pay for it. That sounds good.
Until it happens.
If what happened is a minor stuff, right? It was minor. But, yeah?
Yes.
That is something.
Yes.
On the other hand, save their money or put aside money for something that may possibly happen that we are sure going to happen.
That's right.
We put aside money for that. We putting aside money for serious things. We have serious things like important and critical immediately in front of our, in front of our mind.
Yes.
In regards to ourselves and our family. So we might save for education. We might be saving to buy a home. We're saving just for the rainy day.
Yes.
But our rainy day savings, based on what we advise persons, is 3 to 6 months of your income.
Yes.
Right? 3 to 6 months of income per average person is not going to handle a major event, a negative event in a family.
Yes.
Right? And so, as I said, your savings was not the intention of most people's savings. People do not sit down and say, I go and save for the flood coming that may come. Right? They don't save, you're not saving for that, right?
Yes.
So that is not something that you plan for, right? But guess what? It is something that can cripple you financially if you do not have things in place to deal with those unexpected events that are negative, right?
That's right.
That are negative, right? So,
Yes.
what is insurance? That's the question. And there's a quote that I saw that says, insurance is the embodiment of preparedness, offering a safety net when life takes on unexpected turns. Right?
Yes.
Basically, what insurance is a way to manage your financial risk. Right? As and laying it here, when we are advising persons in terms of constructing your financial portfolio, right? The foundation of that financial portfolio is not going to be investments, your retirement plan, savings. It's nothing like that.
Yes.
It is to deal with all your risk elements. That is to conserve whatever wealth that you would have acquired, right?
Yes.
Because you don't want that something happens to you and then you have to go and sell your house.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
You don't have to sell your car. You don't have to use the money that was put aside there for your children's education. Those are your things that contribute to wealth.
That's right.
And so if you do not cover and do not take care of that foundation of your financial portfolio, you can have the best plan, to have the better generation or one betterment for my children, and you're really working towards that. But guess what? You're not handling that foundation properly at all because you're leaving it open, right? You're leaving it open. So when you buy insurance, you purchase what we call is a protection against unexpected financial losses. What you actually do is you pay the insurance company, right, a premium.
Yes.
Right? And you are actually, what you're actually doing is transferring that risk factor away from yourself and you're handing it over to an insurance company, by paying a premium.
Yes.
Right? I mean, most people, if I want to plug an example here,
yes,
could identify with car insurance because you have it.
Well, I know what car insurance is a must. Once a person not to go on the road, must have the insurance, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that a lot of persons, if you ask them, with insurance, they say car insurance. That's what they know. That's what they know because that's what they have to have.
Yes.
Right? But insurance, every type of insurance really is the same in terms of its structure and what its purpose is about. Right?
Yes.
It is transferring that person. So what you actually do, you on the road, and let's say there was nothing called a car insurance. But you know how crazy things are in Trinidad and Tobago. How lovely we drive on the roads and, how we obey our traffic laws.
Yes.
And the fact that we drive, within speed limits and we don't drink and drive and all these wonderful things.
And nobody don't drive on the shoulder.
Exactly. You know the risk that is involved there.
Yes.
Just coming in, reaching out your yard. If you get a chance to put your yard safely. That's nice, right? And just imagine you on these roads and you don't have no insurance. None. And you get in an accident, you bounce somebody, and it may not be, casualties, but you have significantly damaged the person's car and yours.
Yes.
So now, if you don't have insurance, what are you going to do?
And
you go and fix the person's car and yours.
Well, Natasha,
so that
I just want to tell you that it could be worse than that, because if someone drive a vehicle without insurance and in the accident, even if there was in the right, somebody die, that is a manslaughter charge right there.
Right. No, but my example, I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
But my example is, if it was not legal that you had to have insurance,
yes,
and it was just an open floor and you didn't even have something called insurance, what are we going to do?
Yes.
Do we really have the financial capacity to stay on the road? Because after that accident there, how many people have the wherewithal financially to fix the person's vehicle, fix
That's
theirs
true.
and go back and hope for the best going forward, eh?
Yes.
For the best.
Yes.
Right? And so that in itself should answer the question, why insurance? And that is just one type of insurance, right?
Yes.
And I just use that as an example, right?
Yes.
So basically, it's really transferring that risk away from yourself to a company. And to me, and what it actually does is give you a peace of mind.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I have been, this particular week that I've been driving, I'm trying to think, I haven't had an accident probably the last 12, it has to be more years than that. That
Yes.
as far as I can remember, right?
Yes.
But it's a peace of mind that even though I've not had an accident, I probably drive well, I don't know.
Well,
Or
if you're not getting an accident, well, you know that is evidence that you just drive good.
Well, I can't take one of it because, you know, God could save us from many things.
Yes.
But the fact is, I don't know what could happen tomorrow.
That's
And
right.
we have no control over things that happen in our lives. We don't have, it's going to be the best driver, the A-class driver. And we have had persons who have died and they're here. But this
Yes.
person was actually teaching people defensive driving, right?
Yes.
Because we don't have control over those things. We can do our best. And
Yes.
doing our best is the best that we can do is you know, be considerate on the road and also put things in place. And we go back to the motor insurance. We have no choice with that one, right?
Yes.
So we definitely, what we're actually doing is transferring it over. Now, in a broad sense, right, we can lump all insurance into two categories. We have what you call long-term insurance. That is my specialized area.
Yes.
And then you have general insurance, right? So today, because I wanted to just lay a foundation,
Yes.
I would not spend a whole lot of time on this. I just want to just highlight certain areas and
Yes.
to explain the difference, right?
Yes.
So I wouldn't get into them into detail, right?
Right, okay.
But long-term insurance, it falls in the area where, and it simply says just what it says, long-term. It's over
Yes.
a long period of time, right?
Yes.
So if you take out a policy when you are a teenager and that policy is expiring when you're 100, that's a long-term policy.
Right.
Right? Right? That is a life policy.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And then you have various types of life insurance policies. From pure life, meaning all it does is pay a death benefit if when you die.
Yes.
And then there are policies that have investment components attached to it, so that those policies can be considered an asset in
Right.
that it carries a cash value, right? So you are actually building money, building cash
Yes.
while having your life insurance policy, right? And so, and there's a variety. So I can't get into that today, but
Yes.
there's a variety of life insurance products available out there. And the
Nice.
life insurance is really not for you, for the most part. The primary reason of a life insurance policy is the protection of your family,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you have a young married couple, they don't have any assets against their name, and that's just an example, eh?
Yes.
You have a young married couple, they have no assets. They have children, they're still renting, right?
Yes.
They are paying for their expenses. Both parties are pooling their resources and they are managing based on a two-income family, right?
Right.
One of the partners, the husband or the wife, dies suddenly for whatever reason.
Yes.
You are left with one person to care for minor children, and where that one person was surviving and probably sometimes barely surviving with two incomes, not going down to one.
Yes.
Hear the story of poverty, because now mommy or daddy cannot care for children in a manner without help, right?
So true.
There's no housing. There wasn't any house there. So there's no proper roof over your head. You can't afford to pay the rent. You can't afford to send the children to school as they would like, right?
Yes.
And so a simple premium, sometimes a very cheap premium, because of the type of insurance that you take out, right, can safeguard you for a whole lifetime of stress, financial stress and poverty. I just taken out a life insurance policy. So it varies from situation to situation. I use one where extreme. I don't understand. You have a young couple, you don't have any assets. It is the easiest and fastest way to get something under your belt that can secure you, which is by paying a premium. And transferring the risk of premature death. What we call premature death, so when we say young people die, we say they die before the time, right?
That's right, yes.
Premature death, right? Transferring the impact of that incident to a company. So at least, we're not talking about the emotional heartache and all of that goes with it. But we're talking about the monetary value.
And somehow, I think, Natasha, somehow, if you had the financial backbone to assist, that will even help with the emotional stress as well. Because, yes, you know,
Exactly.
Yes.
Because, you can't even get money to have a proper burial.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right. That's more stress. Yes.
You can't even grieve in peace.
Yes.
So the first thing, I don't want to spend too much time here, but I remember when my own father passed.
Yes.
And I was grieving, but I wasn't stressed.
Yes.
I had something in place. I didn't have to think about where I'm finding money from, go and borrow.
Yes.
I didn't have to have a conversation with anybody.
Yes.
You understand? I could have, at least in that area, have peace to give my father a proper burial send-off. I didn't need to have extra because, he was not, financially taking care of me in any way.
Yes.
But at least there was a peace of mind with that person.
Well, one of the things I want to tell you that we have two set of comments here. We are Anne Morris saying, welcome, Natasha, keep up the good work. Also, we are Leslie Braffett saying, love the topic. And in what you're now saying, I just want to plug in that it also have people, like one of the late styles the world pick up is in the case of family death, some people going fund me TNT to make finances for the funeral services. Wherein if they had an insurance policy in place, they might not go through that,
Exactly. Exactly. And there are simple things that you can do, like an indemnity plan.
Yes.
And as I said, once we have a topic on life insurance, it's a huge area that go on and on, right? And it's an interesting topic, and it is a needed one.
Right.
It's just not a good topic. It is, and that's the reason why I'm so passionate about what I do.
Yes.
Because whenever I see on the news or anywhere, and I hear of somebody dying, the first question comes to my mind is, I hope they had insurance. What a difference will it make to their families?
For your family.
Right? To their families. Because they're not here no more.
That's right. I just want to give one more plug too. Sorry for the disruption. I have a guest in studio, and he asks, at what age can you start and what age are you not eligible?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't get that.
Oh, yeah. I say I have a guest in studio, and he asks the question, at what age can you start and at what age are you not eligible for the insurance to take out a policy?
Okay, so a person as early as 6 weeks old?
Yes.
As early as 6 weeks old?
Yes.
Can have insurance, right? So if you have a baby and you want to insure that child, there's a limitation, however, which is the minimum amount. If it is that the parent does not have insurance,
yes.
However, the parents, let's say, have like 500,000 insurance, then they can do half of that insurance for their child, right?
Right. Yes.
So that is as young as that.
Yes.
and as old as age 70.
Right.
Yeah?
So
That
after
is the cutoff point.
okay, nice. All right.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Right.
you could continue, yeah.
Sorry?
No, I just then you could continue with the point I was making before I asked the question.
All right. No problem. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in regards and also going on in terms of long-term insurance, you have things like critical illness,
Yes.
or what people call disability insurance, right?
Yes.
And those go up to, and remember I'm speaking, yes, it will have kind of generalization for the industry,
Yes.
but it will have a slight variation with ages across different companies. So I'm speaking from my company, right?
Yes.
So we have critical illness plans that range up to 65, 70, and age 80. So now you can get critical illness coverage up to age 80. So
Nice.
again, we're talking about long term.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You have health insurance as well. And your health insurance will come in for your regular doctor visit, but it also has a major medical benefit to that. So if you have to have a major surgery, all your dental and vision, that stuff that you want to do on an annual basis,
Yes.
all that is covered under your health insurance, giving you a reimbursement and cutting your costs.
Yes.
But more than the the stuff that you will do on an annual basis.
Right.
I see the importance of the health insurance for the major medical benefits. Because really and truly, Chris, insurance really was not created for your small expenses.
Yes.
And so that's the reason why there's something called a deductible in insurance.
Yes.
And in a car insurance, you'll hear us talking about excess.
Yes.
Because there is a percentage of your claim that you have to absorb as yours.
As
Because the
yours,
insurance company
yes.
is not covering 100%.
Yes.
And so the small part, so like if you going back to the car, right?
Yes.
You just bruise somebody, your bumper or something like that, and cost you 500. You're not going by the insurance company for that, right? That will fall within your excess. That's
Yes.
yours to fix, right?
Yes.
Right. Because if that happens, the insurance company bucked down with too many small claims and may not be in a position to handle the large ones, right?
Right,
And
yes.
that is the reason why they have something called an excess, and well, in a health plan is your deductible. So
Yes.
every year you would find that if it may be $150, it might be $300, might be $600. That first amount, don't bother to submit no claim because they're not paying it. Right? That's your deductible.
Yes.
So you should know what is the deductible amount.
Right.
So when I think about a health plan, yes, it will assist, and it does, with your regular stuff. You're going and clean your teeth and all that. But the major benefit, meaning you have to have triple bypass surgery, it costing you $400,000.
Yes.
Right? That is when you see the need of the health plan. Right?
Yes.
Then you have your personal accident plan. Again, we're talking about insurance that you
Yes.
take out and runs up to your retirement age and beyond, right?
Yes.
As second year
Yes.
pension, it is not a pension is not an insurance. It is not an insurance policy.
Yes.
However, it is it helps with a risk factor.
Right.
And the risk factor is living too long. Now, people don't see living long as a negative. Everybody wants to live long. Well, at least most people. Right?
Yes.
They want to have a long life.
Yes.
But they don't think that the longer you live, the more you are exhausting whatever money that you have. Not only that, your pension not increasing,
Yes.
but expenses and the cost of living is going up.
Yes.
So if you do not properly plan for that risk,
Yes.
right? If you do not properly plan for that risk as you continue to age, you're getting poorer and poorer, and most likely becoming a dependent on your loved ones.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I remember aging, so you're not as strong. You can't
That's
continue
right.
to work after a while.
Yes, it's
right?
true. Yes.
And so I throw in this because it falls under our risk topic, and it is that you're not paying a premium but you invest in your money so that down the road, right,
Yes.
you can be in a more stable position when you are aging and you're not dying. I know
Yes.
somebody who was, they lived 100 and something, and from all age 70, they want to die and they can't die.
Yeah, I know people like that. I know people like that too.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home already, but they ain't going nowhere, right?
Yes.
And so I stuck that in right there.
Yes.
Right, so moving right along, the other area there is general insurance. Right? And general insurance. Sorry.
Natasha, sorry, I just want to cut for 1 minute again before you move on to the general insurance.
Sure.
The guest asks, what is the criteria to qualify for insurance?
What is the criteria to qualify for insurance?
Yes, to take our policy.
All right. Well, it depends on the person's age.
Okay.
Right? It depends on the person's age because it falls into, of course, if you're younger, premium is lower.
Right.
And there are less medical requirements, or sometimes no medical requirements. Right?
Yes.
But as you get older, the risk of you dying is getting greater.
Yes.
So, of course, our insurance company is going to watch you a bit closer. So they want to see more things, right?
Yes.
So it depends on the age and the risk factor.
Yes.
Your health. Let me plug this in here.
Yes.
Some people think, well, the main thing they're buying insurance with is money. You have to have money to buy insurance, right?
Yes.
Well, yes, but no. The first most important thing to buy insurance is your health.
Yes.
You have to try and buy the insurance when you're healthy.
Yes, true.
Right? Because you may be so ill that it is not a risk that now remember we have to be uncertain about the risk, eh?
Yes.
So when you come to insurance company and they can be certain about your risk, meaning that you looking like you don't have much time remaining,
Yes.
right? Then you may not get the insurance because insurance is something that we must be able to tell that you're going just now. You understand?
Yes, clearly.
You can stop, huh?
I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Right? So the health factor is a very important factor. Now, I'm not saying that person with illnesses, because I have many clients who are diabetic, they're hypertensive. Once it's controlled, right?
Yes.
Get the insurance, your premium will be a little higher than the one who don't have it, of course.
Yes.
Some people that maybe they build structure or any other illness, many other illnesses, right?
Yes.
But that is a question only for the underwriting department to answer. So it is not wise for somebody to think, I can't get insurance.
Yes.
Put the question, you never know. I've seen certain cases get through that I myself thought that maybe would have been a decline case, but actually end up getting the insurance.
Yes.
Right? It's only when they review and they're able to tell, I am not an underwriter.
Then they will come to the decision. Yes.
Yes, I have experience now that I could probably have a little insight, but I'm still not an underwriter. And sometimes the cases have to go to reinsurers, international reinsurers. They have to go to our chief medical officer, which is a doctor, right?
Yes.
We are not doctors.
Yes.
So what I can tell person is that even though health is extremely important, even though you think you may not be healthy or you may have certain issues that may prevent you, don't judge it for yourself, right? Put your application forward and let the company make a decision.
Yes.
I mean, there's no negative in trying.
That's right.
Right.
One more thing too, Natasha. Sorry again. We have Audrey DL out in the United States who always locked on. She say, wonderful, welcome, great insurance topic. Then she asks, what's your cheapest monthly premium? So I don't know if you're willing to disclose that over here, or I could always link up with you privately as well too.
Well, the cheapest monthly premium, I mean, it may not apply according to age.
Yes.
When I say is that, but a premium for us can afford just the system will not accept a premium under $100.
Right. Okay.
So like a life insurance. If it's like a personal accident plan or something like that, but a life insurance product can afford below $100. Right?
Right.
So you can take out a policy for $100 and a cent,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It could be 100 flat. But
Yes.
the system would not accept a premium
Yes.
of under $100. Right?
Nice. Yes.
Can a person who is 60 get a premium for $100? No. Right?
Right.
So you understand the answer in relation to cost.
Yes.
So this is the general cost across the board that you could take up. You can't fall below $100, but a person in their 20s can get, even in their 30s, I think, could get a policy for $100.
Yes.
Right? But not if you're older. Right?
Right.
Right. So, in regards to general insurance, right? And so, just for clarity, because I want to plug this in. I didn't really talk too much about the company which I work with.
Yes.
Because that's what I come here for. But if you have Guardian Life of the Caribbean, which handles our long-term products, but you have Guardian General. So for persons who may have that question, right? So all your general insurance, it's a different type of insurance, but the insurance, in terms of what it does, transfer the risk is the same, right?
Yes.
So your general insurance are things like your motor insurance, your home insurance, right? So a lot of times, or actually all the time, when I'm watching the news and you're seeing the broadcasting of some fire and you're watching interviewing the family members, I am always able to tell who have insurance and who don't.
Yes.
You can tell by the way they respond.
Yeah, you see
Now,
the
a fire
emotions.
is a loss.
Yes.
It is a loss because you would lose personal items that you cannot replace.
Yes.
But there is a big difference between losing that, but knowing in the back of your head that I have an insurance policy that is going to give my replacement the money to replace and rebuild, than a person who have no insurance and don't know where they're going to start, because all their life they work hard to build this house, and not just the house gone, but now everything inside the house. I have nothing. You will hear them say things like, all I have is the clothes on my back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That is a serious, we talk about financial loss, everything gone, Chris.
Yes.
And you have nothing in place to start. Where you want to start over?
Yes.
You sacrifice. You might borrow, you're still owing.
Yes.
Right? And you have no insurance.
Yes.
And house fires, how you know? Sometimes it's not a candle, it's an electrical fault that you don't know.
Yes.
Right? And
True.
so that is a major risk that we live with.
Yes.
Yeah? And so very important, but not out there as much, because it's not a legal requirement in owning a house. So it's put on the back burner. But for me, it's a very important product to have. Right?
Yes.
We could go as far as ensuring our content, your fridge, your stove, your flat screen TV.
Yes.
Right? Your expensive whatever. A manager of mine, he bought, just to treat himself, a pen with a diamond tip. You can ensure that.
Yes.
Your keyboard, all your equipment. You have a business.
Yes.
They insure your business and all the contents of your business. Because, this is your livelihood.
Yes.
If a fire comes, then what's the situation? How you going to restart now? You know?
Yes.
And so your home insurance, your business insurance, and its content are very important. You have your we have things like travel insurance. A lot of persons don't know that there's something called travel insurance that you can buy when you're ready to take your vacation.
Yes.
Right? When your luggage lose or some type of accident happen while you're traveling, you have insurance that will cover you for that duration.
the first time I hear about that one.
Yes, you have travel insurance.
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah, persons buy it all the time. That's what I'm saying. There are things available that people don't know.
Don't know.
So if you don't know, you don't know it exists, well, then, but it's there, right?
Yes.
And of course, you have things that you have to have. This is something that certain, like construction sites, and so, they must have workmen compensation and public liability insurance. You can't operate certain establishments without that.
Without that,
Very
yes.
important to cover right? And there are many, if you have both, depends how we could go on in terms of, things that can be insured. And recently, I would say probably over a year now, we started pet insurance.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, your pet should have insurance too.
So all the people with the dogs and the cat and thing, you could insure these are your pets and them now.
Exactly. So now your pets, you don't have to worry. Yes. You have some serious things going on with your pet, but it covers things like your vaccinations for your pets and so all that is covered under your pet insurance. Yeah?
Well, one of the things I have to tell you about that, Natasha, is when you have a pet, like a dog, normally the lifespan will be about at least 7 to 9 years, 10 years according. When the animal die, it has hurt as much as someone in the house die, to me.
Exactly. It's a family member for most persons, yes.
Yes. So it makes sense having the policy. And I personally was to pay for an operation where somebody bunks a dog we had, and the surgery for that was like $5,000.
Well, that reminds me of one that I recently had, and I paid like 12.
You look at that. Yeah.
It still happened.
Yes.
And actually, that was something that came to my mind when I was talking about the risk of every day, what we encounter.
Yes.
And that's the realities that we live in. I mean, Chris, where you find out you are 5,000 put on us, like
just it. Yeah. and when you love your animal, when you love the pet, you're just finding it.
Yeah. When you find it, what you do?
Yeah.
What you do, you have to find it.
Yeah.
But, yes, you have to find it. So that was an important product that they launched.
Yes.
But it's another one that is added, and a lot of people again don't know that is available. But I can understand this one because it's a recent addition. Yeah?
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, I know that we have exhausted our time.
No, that is all right. We could go up to 4 o'clock. It's 10 minutes to 4 now. Yes.
Right. But I would want to end with a story, a real story actually.
Yes.
Of in regards to life insurance.
Yes.
Because this helps to answer a lot of the questions some people have, right? There was this particular agent in our company who sold a policy to a person.
Yes.
They went home by them. They signed up the forms, collected the first premium, right, that morning. And the agent left that appointment and went back to the office, submitted the form, the premium was submitted.
Yes.
Now, there's something called temporary conditional agreement, which for our company cover up to $500,000. So persons ask, right, some of the questions persons ask is how soon after you take out the policy do you have the coverage, right?
Yes.
With life insurance, it's actually immediate, meaning that
I didn't know that.
if you apply for up to $500,000, then your full amount is covered, right?
Yes.
However, it's like $1 million, then you get half. But the fact of the matter is, from the moment we receive the forms and the first premium, then that person is covered, right? And in this particular situation, right, what happened was that after the agent left, right? The agent left, the person started getting ready, and they started their job is from evening into nighttime. On the way going to work, the person was in a motor vehicle accident and died.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And subsequently, that premium, that one premium that our person paid, and the fact that the forms were inside, the claim was paid because the amount was not, I think it was either 500,000 or below.
Yes.
So whatever they applied for was paid into their estate.
Yes.
Right? And they didn't have time to put on a beneficiary. But what I'm saying is, there's a living example. So some people say, but I'm paying this premium for years.
Yes.
Right? But the fact is, we don't know. We don't know when our last day will be.
That's right. Yes.
And so this gives, it sheds light into that, the fact that with insurance, life insurance, it gives you that immediate cover and protection. Yeah?
Yes.
And so I just want to leave that there, that it's today is the day then, right? If you don't have it, today is the day
to try and get it.
Get that protection in place. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, as we coming down to the final few minutes, you want to leave contact information that for the listeners who might have any question or will be interested in taking out a policy, how they could contact you?
Yes.
All right.
Well, we would have it in the chat because the email address is a very long email address.
Yes.
It's easy to remember, however.
Yes.
It's Natasha Grant-Regis
Yes.
at myguardiangroup.com.
Yes.
They can forward, if they choose to send an email, they can forward their emails to that email address.
Yes.
Right? And they can also send me WhatsApp messages or send regular text messages to 301-4165. Yeah?
Yes.
And why I say messages is because they can try calling, but a lot of times I'm in meetings.
Yes.
And so I may not be able to take the call right away, but if you want to speak to me, you can just leave me a message and I will call you back.
Call back, yes.
Yeah?
And
yes,
also,
I will return your call.
I want the listeners to also know that they could also contact the station, and I will make sure and get them onto you as well.
Okay, appreciate that very much. Yeah?
Yes. Well, Natasha. Yes. And well, let me give you the moment for any final comments if you want to big up anybody or want to shout out anybody.
Well, yeah, the big up I want to give is to your station. Many thanks go to the management and staff of Our Culture, Our Vibes for inviting me to share with your audience.
Yes.
I really appreciated it. It was a privilege, and I really appreciate it, Chris. I really appreciate you and the staff for extending that invitation to me. Yeah?
I just want to say that the interview was wonderful. Yes.
Sorry?
I just want to say that the interview was wonderful. It really, I think that the listeners get a lot more than they was expecting in terms of the topic.
Right. And as I said, each area I highlighted can be, we can spend a lot of time answering questions.
Yes.
And sharing information. I just touched on those areas, right?
Yes.
So, like, when I say critical illness, what are we talking about, really, right? It's a lot. It's a lot of information.
Yes.
So, I really wanted for persons to see the importance and to answer that question, why insurance?
Yes.
And why it is all around us, why we need it,
That's right.
it. Yeah?
Yes, very important.
So I hope I was able to achieve that.
Yes, definitely. And I must say that we have to do a part 2 to this interview because I know it's a lot of information.